Sports saloons combine practicality and performance, but is there a trade-off? We'll find out in tonight's Driven 100.
Their first convertible. We lift the lid on the new Lexus.
And help judge our car, review a competition, and you could win a brand new scooter.
But first, the Driven 100.
When it comes to image, Skoda, Seat and MG have all suffered an identity crisis in the past. So, with a view to reinventing themselves, they've turned out sporty versions of their standard saloons. But are they warmed up family runarounds with body kits and sports exhausts? Or is there some real heat here?
It may share the same floor plan as the Golf, but with reduced weight and a price tag of under 15 grand, this Leon Cupra has got less Spanish bull and more Spanish fly. Ole!
Under this MG ZS 180 lie the remains of a far more genteel Rover 45. It's tweaked to look the part, but have MG Rover produced a true upholder of the mark?
Ten years ago, the idea of a performance Skoda would have been enough to make you cry with laughter. But look at this, an Octavia RS, 180 brake horsepower. Who's laughing now, eh?
1, 2, 3.
By slapping racy badges like MG, RS and Cupra on their backs, the manufacturers are hoping you'll link them with sporty aspirations. So for our first test, we're going to take to the track. And just to show how their handling sets my pulse racing as I hold on in the back, I'll be wired up to a heart monitor.
1, 2, 3.
Right, now the first of our cars is the MG ZS 180.
I'm wired up and my heartbeat is 69.
You're going to count us down?
I will do, yeah. Right, you ready? 3, 2, 1, go! Now, Rover claim that they developed the chassis for this car on the racetrack before they even started the saloon car programme. It'd get us from a standing start up to 60 miles an hour in 7.3 seconds. Jason, you're going too fast. Oh,
It does
my goodness.
feel quick, doesn't it?
Oh, God. Oh!
Well, it's hardly surprising as soon as we go through one of these leery corners that the heart rate monitor goes straight up to 80 and more.
Jason!
It actually feels really stable in the back. It really is well planted.
Whoa! Ryan, where did that grip come from?
The initial turn in is very good, but more importantly, what I do like is the fact the rears of the car's a little bit nervous. It oversteers a little bit, which is great fun. What's the time, Mike?
We're there. 1:39.
Good work.
Not bad at all. Who would have ever thought it was sitting on a racetrack in a Skoda? It's the Octavia RS, the second of our cars. Ready, Jay?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go! Way!
Oh, come on.
Good traction off the line. Now, Skoda say they're celebrating their 100th year, their centenary in motorsport. I didn't even know they're race cars.
Yeah, they're one of the most successful ever rally teams.
Right, now this car's got a 4-cylinder engine, 180 brake horsepower, good power delivery because it has got a turbo. Whoa! Super saw away sideways.
Tell you what, it's pretty good. It feels nice in your hands. The driving position's great. It turns in very well. It's quite lively on the rear, a little bit like the MG, but what it does have, which I don't really like, is it understeers quite a bit on the corner exits. Whoops, there's the understeer.
It feels very different in the back. It feels very light on the back of the car, whereas in the MG it's sat down very tightly on the track, so it's a bit more scary in the back here. And I have the proof because my heart rate's gone up by 20 beats per minute.
1 minute 40 seconds.
Yeah, I tell you, I'm surprised it's
I'm surprised. It's only a second slower than the MG and it feels a lot slower.
It does feel slower.
Right, last of our cars is the Seat Leon Cupra. Now, Cupra stands for Cup Racing. Let's hope it's racing on this track. Pen, as your art.
I'm starting off stressed and I should probably end up stressed.
3, 2, 1, go!
Hello, saucy.
Minute action off the line. Now, this car has got a 4-cylinder, 180 brake, turbocharged engine. Does that sound familiar? Well, it is familiar because it's exactly the same engine as what's in the Skoda Octavia.
Oh, crikey.
It's much softer in here, isn't it? Already
Yeah.
you can feel that in that first bend.
It is
much
soft.
softer. Oh, understeer.
It does understeer quite a lot. Generally, the steering's not that precise. It turns in okay, but as soon as the car's turned, it rolls a little bit too much. but it's okay. It's just...
It doesn't feel anywhere near as exciting as the others.
No, it does. My heart, amazingly, is staying fairly constant. So,
Really?
All right, okay.
So out of the three, it's got the most sporty name, but I don't think it is the most sporty, certainly not for me.
Come on,
and I think
old
that's
girl.
just about to be proved because it's the slowest at 1:41. 2 seconds slower than the MG and a second slower than the Skoda Octavia. What do you think about that?
Completely different drives. We had the Seat that understeered dreadfully. Wasn't a good drive. Didn't enjoy it. We can't score that high, can
15?
we? Yeah.
Yeah, 15 points. The Skoda I thought was remarkable. Great engine, great gearbox. I felt really safe in that car.
Although I didn't in the back.
But it was great to drive.
I think we should award it a good 18 points, that car.
Do you not think it needs some more?
More.
No.
A Skoda's getting 18 points. It's
a good car.
amazing.
No, come on, 18 for the Skoda.
Okay.
And that MG, well, crikey.
The most fun to
Amazing.
drive. Really dynamic.
Really felt so
pitchy.
grippy in the back as well. It's got to get a 19.
It should be a 19. It went round the quickest, 1:39. Yeah, definitely.
19 then.
They may pack the same punch, but the Seat trailed the Skoda on the track. First past the post was the MG, taking an early lead with 19.
We get to drive some fantastic motors. And now it's your turn. Motordrive is your chance to test drive some of Britain's top-selling cars.
Motordrive is going to be held at Millbrook Proving Ground in Bedfordshire on the 27th and 28th of October. Log on to 4car.co.uk for details and we'll see you there.
And because we're nice people, we're giving away 2 tickets to Motordrive. All you have to do is predict which car will come last in this week's Driven 100 and its final score. Simple. Phone lines are open now. Call 090 1303 1303. That's 090 1303 1303. The winner will be the first correct entry selected by our computer.
In the same month that Smart finally bring us right-hand drive versions of their popular city car, we bring you exclusive spy footage of 2 of their new models, a Sporty Roadster and Coupe costing around the 10 grand mark and due to hit our roads in 2003. Although our prototypes wear heavy disguise, expect the Coupe and the Cabriolet to strongly resemble concepts shown at last year's Paris and Birmingham motor shows. They're based on the same platform as the Smart city car, although it's been slightly extended to improve handling. Power for these baby sports cars comes from a pint-sized turbocharged 3-cylinder petrol engine. With over 3,000 of the city cars sold, let's see if this new Roadster and Coupe prove a smart move.
We're off to market to find out which of our Driven 100 cars is the pick of the bunch.
Now, if your lottery numbers came up, you probably wouldn't beat down too many doors to get your hands on one of these cars. But to be fair, they do offer performance at a very reasonable price. But which is the most desirable? We've brought our 3 cars here to New Covent Garden Market to sort the peaches from the lemons. All right, ladies and gentlemen, tell us what you think of this Skoda.
The radio looks a bit cheap.
Yeah, a bit cheap and nasty. Remember, this is a Skoda, but look at the fit and finish.
But don't forget Skoda's now VW, it's their number 2. That's the difference.
Errol, do you want my job or what? Look at her, what are you taking orders, sweetheart? Hey, what about the exterior of the car? Is it racy, square, boxy?
Racy.
You like it? Looks racy, you like the look of it, you think...
It's Skoda, all you see is the badge. You just see the badge and
Puts you off. Some of you like it, some of you don't, yes?
Yeah.
Right, well, let's move you on to the MG and see what you think of the MG.
So what do you think of the inside of it for a start?
Really ugly seats.
Very, not a
Ugly.
lot of room. Seat handles come off and that.
It looks really kind of suburban, not sporty at all.
Doesn't look sporty.
Well, apart from that tacky thing on the back.
Not getting very good vibes from this MG. Better see what they think of the Seat Leon.
Do you like the inside?
It's pretty basic.
What about the outside? What do we think? I know the colour's rubbish.
No, it's gorgeous. I love the colour.
Now, some people would say this car's got a fat bottom. Would you agree?
No, it's pert and compact.
This would be the younger person's car. This one compared with the MG.
Well, this bunch have got an awful lot to say about the cars, but which will they vote for? Ladies and gentlemen, stand by the car of your choice, the one you most desire.
Come on, you lot, over here. Big crowd round your Scody.
Mike, how many have you got?
A paltry 2 pen.
OK, Jason?
The Seat's a big hit with the girls and Harold. I've got 5.
I've also got 5. That means we've got 2 peaches here, the MG and the Seat Leon, but there seems to be 1 lemon, and that's the Skoda.
Well, the people of New Covent Garden Market certainly have an opinion, don't they?
But they didn't think much of the Skoda. And is that because of the badge?
Of course it is. It's a great car. If they'd driven it, they'd love it. But unfortunately, it's got the word Skoda on it.
I know.
People just don't like it.
The MG and the Seat got 5 punters apiece. You guys prefer the MG?
I do prefer the MG, but I'm a little bit amazed that all the women went for the Seat, which is a girlies' car, definitely.
I don't like it. I think it's
But the
highly
people love it,
undesirable.
Jay, so we have to
Yes,
give it a
the people love it.
Sure.
Now, you see, if I had to vote, I'd vote for the Skoda. So my casting vote, I think, evens the Seat and the Skoda up. So I think we should go for about 15 apiece.
Yes, I agree.
You guys go for the MG, and the punters went
Well,
for the
what,
MG.
I'm going to call it 16 for the MG?
16.
Yeah.
Because it is desirable.
It is desirable.
The foreign flavour of the Seat and Skoda weren't to everyone's taste, so top of the crop is the homegrown MG with 16.
We'll be back in part 2 with a brand new Lexus convertible and, of course, more from the Driven 100.
Coming up, a chance to win a brand new scooter in our car reviewer competition, but first, the latest Lexus.
18 years ago, the boss of Toyota told his team to go out and try and design the best luxury car in the world. They replied with the Lexus.
Ah, I hear you say. They're the reliable but bland cars the Japanese came up with to compete with the likes of BMW and Mercedes. All of the qualities of their German counterparts, but none of the character. So, what do you make of this?
This is the first convertible that Lexus have ever built, the new SC430. If you're looking for a big convertible, you're not exactly over-endowed with choice. But at 51 grand, the UK's allocation of 250 was snapped up long before its launch. Put this car up against a new Merc SL or Jag XK8, however, and you don't get the same sense of heritage. And what's more, most buyers don't want a car that looks like its design is borrowed from every other manufacturer.
One big letdown with the new SC430 is the boot with the roof down. Even Ian Woosnam's former caddy would have problems getting an extra club in here.
But the solid roof is a big selling point for this car, turning a convertible into a coupe in 25 seconds, which still isn't fast enough when it's tipping it down.
Forget the rear, a newborn baby would struggle for legroom in there, but the front, well, it's an absolute pleasure.
The fully loaded cabin puts the Merc and Jag to shame. For a lot less money, it's got the latest gizmos, including a state-of-the-art sat-nav computer and an expensive, trendy Yank sound system. But from the outside, it's obvious who this car is aimed at. It may have been designed in Europe, but boat-like styling reminiscent of 50s boulevard cruisers shows that Lexus knows its bread is buttered in America. And it's not just the exterior that tips you off.
This car is definitely not designed for the twists and turns of Britain's country roads. The chassis, well, it's just a bit too soft. The one thing that you constantly hold when you drive a car is the steering wheel. And if it's jumping about all over the place, it ruins the driving pleasure. But put the SC430 to the job luxury cruisers are designed for, then all of a sudden life doesn't seem so bad.
As its name suggests, it's got a 4.3-litre V8 producing 282 brake horsepower, with 60 coming up in 6.5 seconds.
Put your foot down and like all Lexuses, or should that be Lexi, the power delivery is effortless. It's a beautiful engine, it revs all the way to the red line, and the best thing about this car, I think, is the automatic gearbox. It's silky smooth and could possibly be the best on the market.
Lexus are only importing a few hundred SC430s each year, so you're guaranteed to stand out from the rest of the golf club car park. But is that a good enough reason to buy one?
A good try, Toyota. Oh, sorry, Lexus. But still some way to go to beat the European elite.
We're on the hunt for somebody with a talent for talking about cars. We've launched our viewer-reviewer competition and we've had sackfuls of entries. We're going to show you 6 of them, and one of them is guaranteed a place in our viewer-reviewer final if you vote for them. So watch all 6 clips, choose your favourite, and then log on to 4car.co.uk to register your vote, and you could win a fantastic prize. Our first reviewer is Alex Elton with his Ford Orion.
I feel that this car so epitomises both performance and design that I went ahead and bought 2 of them. And here, you can hardly see where they're joined. The interior of the Ford Orion is a blend of grey plastic and greyish plastic. This is attractively complemented by grey velour upholstery.
Reviewer number 2 is Katie Davis and her Vauxhall Astra van.
But you know what it is that I love most about my yellow Astra van? It's its subtle curves, its unique styling, its anonymity. It's that creaking of the door in the morning that says, "Goodbye, Katie, have a nice day at work."
Our third viewer reviewer is Asif Ikram and his Honda S2000.
A great feature in this car is the start button. You see a lot of cars now copying this. S3000 was the first one to have it. The VTEC engine is a bit schizophrenic. All the power is above 6,000 RPM. To truly appreciate the power of the engine, we need to take it to a track day. Let's do that, shall we?
Reviewer number 4 is Angie Williams and her Ford Ka.
You probably think this is the natural habitat of the small car, the supermarket car park. Well, I'm here to change your mind about that. Because this is one little car that's a lot more than a shopping trolley or a school-run taxi. Some people might say that the back end is just a little bit too broad. Hey! But this gives it a bigger than normal load space for a car that's less than 12 feet long.
Number 5 is Rupert Cook and his Land Rover Freelander.
The densest groupings of these vehicles are to be found near the verdant playgrounds of schools and the difficult terrains of the underground car park.
The Freelander gives a great feeling of safety and space, and the suspension eats speed bumps for breakfast, which is nice.
At last is Craig Tomes and his Lotus Elan.
But surely, Craig, a two-seater sports car is totally impractical.
Surprisingly not. You can take your friends.
Well, Craig, why not just get an Elise?
Because in an Elise, you can't do this.
So all you have to do now is log on to 4car.co.uk to vote for your favourite, and you could win a brand new Peugeot scooter, courtesy of jamjar.com, the internet car retailer.
Back to the Driven 100 and our Sporty saloons. Performance is one thing, but does it compromise day-to-day practicality?
Now, although you'd be chuffed to know your car's got the guts to make a break for it on the racetrack, it still has to be able to cope with life's everyday mundane tasks.
Sporty cars haven't always been the easiest cars to live with, especially when it comes to manoeuvring around a multi-storey car park. Those skirts and spoilers can take quite a bashing on the tight turns, speed humps and pillars.
So to make this test as realistic as possible, we've weighted down the boots in each of our cars.
To find out which one of our cars is the most practical to live with, we'll put them through tight turns, steep slopes and tiny parking spaces that we all have to deal with in daily life. First, the Skoda.
Right. Oh, I've got plenty of space in here, guys. Look at this.
God, some people don't half park selfishly these days.
That's brilliant.
Left me no space. Steering's nice and light. Clutch is really easy to control. The boot is so high up, I can't really see the car behind, so I'm going to just bottle it and go straight for this little slalom, which is going to show how nimble the car is in the tight space. It's heavy, but it's obviously it's power steering, but it's fine. It's nice and easy. Now I'm going to go up the ramp. Now, we're back where we were. I'm going to reverse it into this space.
You're kidding
nice
me.
Skill and judgment.
You'll never get in there,
Ben, we just left here a minute ago.
Now, back into reverse. Now, the visibility, like I say, it's just high at the back. It's slightly difficult to judge, but it's got nice big mirrors on the other side. But, of course, you can't see the concrete pillar behind you, so I'm just going to judge it from the front. There. Really nice, easy to drive car. Love the layout. I really like this car a lot. Let's try the Seat next. Well, clutch control is nice and easy. And this is a littler car, so...
Should be easy.
I'm really struggling to see over the top. Again, the boot at the back's very high.
Maybe a littler car pen, but this car's got a bigger turning circle. It's 11.2 metres, as opposed to the Skoda's 10.8.
Wow.
So, yeah.
We'll take it through this little
You've got a bit of perspiration coming on your brow there. Is that steering heavy?
It's heavier. It doesn't seem as nimble through the cones. The steering feels funny. It's not smooth. It's lumpy. Right, up the old ramp. And I'm going to try and reverse the car back into this ridiculously tight space.
Have you got me neck brace?
Again, at the back, I can't see where the concrete pillar is, but I'm sure we'll hear it any second. No, I mean, what I'll do is I'll just use the front of the car as a judge and line it up with the vans. Well, it's not as good from every respect as the Skoda, although it's okay, but I much prefer to be in the Skoda. We better try the MG. Clutch is heavier than the other two. Rear visibility, again, I've got this...
Turning circle pen, look at it.
I'm going to have to
absolutely
whiz
dreadful.
round.
It's going to be 3 jigs to get this car out.
Now, the gear stick also is too low down. It's not just quite the right position. But it's nice to drive.
It's a great drive.
It's brilliant. I've driven this car a lot and it's so much fun on the open road, but it's just dreadful in here.
You feel the weight in the boot pen? Or not because I'm sitting in the back.
The car feels less nimble than the other two. And of course, I can't see.
You can't see because of what pen is in your way? That big spoiler?
The big spoiler. Also, when you're on the open road, that spoiler completely cuts across your rear vision of the cars coming up behind you, which is annoying. It's hard work. It's not the best car here in this test. So which was the best? The Skoda was the real gem. It was the best for everyday driving and wins our practicality test.
Like the performance but not the price, Mike finds an alternative to our Sporty saloons.
For a hot hatch at half the price have I got the deal for you, the Citroen Xsara 2-litre VTS. It was a toss-up between the 1.8 VTR or this one. The 1.8 is a lively performer, but the 2-litre has that extra punch. 0 to 60 arrives in under 8 seconds. It has a top speed of 137 miles an hour and it'll return over 30 miles to the gallon. Depreciation has been heavy on the Xsara, so they're great second-hand buys. This is a 1-year-old model and it only costs £9 grand. That's half the price of a new one. So where'd you come to buy your Xsara? Well, I've come to an approved Citroen dealer who can offer you a comprehensive hallmark warranty. Otherwise, look out for them at car supermarkets, ideally late cars on X-plates. So what assets does the VTS boast? Well, for starters, it has a deep front spoiler, automatic windscreen wipers, anti-theft alarm, side impact protection, air conditioning, a spacious interior where you can seat 4 adults comfortably, and a very useful boot. Possible problems? The service intervals on Xsaras are very long at 12,500 miles, so make sure the previous owner has at least bothered to have the annual inspection done. It should have a service history, as the majority of models will be covered by a 3-year warranty. It may not look pretty, but it's cheap, fast and dependable.
But if it's one of the new cars in our Driven 100 you're after, you'll need to know how much it's going to cost to own. Our scores are based on the average running costs, servicing and depreciation over 3 years.
The Octavia RS is quite a cheap car to run. It costs 45p a mile and it gets a score of 18.
Also getting 18 is the MG. It costs just under 47 pence a mile.
But the cheapest car here is the Seat Leon. It's 42 pence a mile and that's going to score 19.
So, adding up the scores, which of our cars lives up to its badge? They've all suffered from a tarnished image, but who comes through to polish off the competition?
So, coming in third place is the Seat Cupra with 65 points. A good car, but not quite good enough in this marketplace.
But this week we have 2 winners with 70 points. The Skoda Octavia RS almost clinched it on his own, but was let down by badge snobbery.
Sharing first place is the MG ZS 180, proving that you can give an old design new life with a sporting upgrade and a heritage badge. We'll see you next week.
And next week on Driven, we'll be pitching the mini MPV Citroen Picasso against inflated hatches, the Peugeot 307 and the Honda Civic. And one viewer puts the new Jaguar X-Type to the test.
For more information on Motordrive, sponsored by the AA, just click on to 4car.co.uk.